Hello friends, welcome you all. In this today's lecture, we are going to study the Bank for International Settlement, popularly known as BIS. Bank for International Settlement is very old financial institution, international financial institution in the world, and it is established around 1930 when the Great Depression was going on in the whole world. So, Bank for International Settlement is the important and very old institutions, international institutions, and it is important because the member of these institutions are the central banks of the world. Means, suppose in India, Reserve Bank of India is the central bank. So, how important the role plays in the economy of any central bank, you can think over it, and you know better that the how important role we have discussed. We have studied the paper international, central banking, and how central bank is important for any country or economy. You know that very well, and the all central banks are the member of this Bank for International Settlement, and indirectly you can say that it is the bank for central banks in the world. The formal introduction of this bank or institution, we can say that it is established on 17th May 1930, and it is the oldest international financial organization in Basel, Switzerland. Basel in Switzerland have some kind of history, and it has some kind of uh, the connection with strong banking, because this Bank for International Settlement, the Basel Committee belong to this bank, and Basel Committee given the Basel norms for all the Basel norms for the world and for all central banks. So Basel norms are very important kind of rule, ideal rules which are set up by this International Bank for Settlement, and it is popularly known as Basel norms. Why these Basel norms are important? Because these Basel norms give some kind of ideal and important rules which are, if banks implement it or any country implement it, then there is the they can create the strong banking system, and there is the very less risk of default of any bank. For example, if you take the example of CAR norms, that is capital adequacy norms. So internationally it is given by Basel Committee, and Basel Committee belong to the International Bank for International Settlement. So this CRAR or CAR, capital adequacy ratio, ideally at international level should be at 8%, and this norm is given by Basel Committee, and Basel Committee belong to International Bank for Settlement. So how important is this bank, we can see from this discussion. Head office of this BIS is in Basel, with two representative offices in Hong Kong and Mexico City. So this Bank for International Settlement have two representative offices. One is in Hong Kong and one is in Mexico City. Shareholders, customers are central banks, monetary authorities, and international organizations. Means who are the customers or member of this bank? These The shareholders of these banks are central banks, and important international organizations are the shareholders and customers of this BIS. So you can imagine central banks are the member of this bank. means Reserve Bank is one of the member of this BIS. The BIS does not accept deposit from or provide any financial services to private individual or corporate entities. So these bank do not accept any deposit from any private entity or financial institution or any corporate entities, and do not provide financial assistance also to private individual or corporate entities. It works for the central banks. It is a forum type of organization. So it is organization of central banks and monetary authorities. Monetary authorities means like a Reserve Bank of India, who takes the care of monetary system of any country, like in America, US, Federal Reserve is there. In China, People's Bank of China is there. Then in England, Bank of England is there. In India, Reserve Bank of India is there. So all these central banks and monetary authorities are the member of this bank for international settlement, and it do not works for private entities or private individuals, and it do not provide any financial services to private individuals or corporate entities. As of now, BIS has 60 members, that is central banks, representing countries which consist 95.5% of world GDP. Means 60 members central banks in the world are the member of this BIS, and around 55 and around 96% of GDP of world covered by these members. So obviously around 95% of the monetary system, the BIS can control, or means it has indirect control through their members, that is 60 members central banks of the world. So 60 members are there, which are the member of BIS. What is the mission of this BIS, Bank for International Settlement? The mission is to serve central banks. So their pursuit of monetary and financial stability. It provides and it discusses the problems and solutions with these central banks to establish a monetary and financial stability in the member countries. So indirectly it helps for the monetary and financial stability of the world. For example, like in this corona pandemic or COVID-19 situation, we are experiencing the monetary and financial instability in all over the world. So Reserve Bank of India taken many initiatives. For example, it implemented, reduced the interest rates. It implemented easy monetary policy, that is cheaper monetary policy. It increased, Reserve Bank of India increased the liquidity. It increased supply of money. It given the some kind of instruction to banks to do not insist strongly on recovering the loans, and given some concession in the interest rate, like that. So we have observed so many things Reserve Bank of India have done, and with the consultation of Reserve Bank of India, Government of India also have given some boost and some packages to boost the economy. So like that, so all these problems are discussed in this BIS, and BIS gives some solutions and some uh, plans to all central banks. And when all central banks of the world comes together, they find some solutions, they find some technical assistant knowledge, some plans, some expertise skills, and they exchange with each other. Because if one country or one region faces financial problems, financial instability, monetary instability, then it transfer to other region. So no any region, not any region is separated from the world. World become a one village, and if some problem happens in the one country, monetary and financial problem, then it get transferred into the other country. So all these members of BIS central banks come together and discusses the problems, construct the plans. For example, to solve the problem of uh, capital adequacy or the bankruptcy in the world, BIS given the Basel norms, and the member of this BIS have to implement these Basel norms in their own country. And Reserve Bank of India also have accepted Basel norms, and it made it mandatory to all the banks in India. So like that, the BIS pursued the monetary and financial stability among the member uh, countries, or among the central banks of the world. It foster international cooperation in those areas. Uh, as I discussed that it exchanges the knowledge, technical assistance, plans, skills. When central banks come together, for example, if Reserve Bank of India's representative, Federal Reserve's representative, Bank of England representatives, or any other countries central banks representatives come together, they discusses the problem of world, and they discusses some new solutions for new problems. Like that, this BIS fosters international cooperation in these areas. It acts as a bank for central banks. So it is a bank for central banks. It is not just a institution, but uh, like we have studied, Reserve Bank of India is the bank of all banks in India. Like that, BIS, Bank for International Settlement, is the bank of all central banks, like Reserve Bank of India in the world. uh, what is the mission of this bank? We can discuss here in a broader outline. It promotes the discussion and facilitate collaboration among the central banks. It supports the dialogue with other authorities that are responsible for promoting financial stability. So those members and those entities, organizations are important from the viewpoint of maintaining the stability in the world, financial stability in the world. So it uh, brings together these members, and they discuss with each other. They supports with the dialogues. It conducts the research on policy issues confronting central banks and financial supervisory authorities also. So all the central banks have a very rich research hub, and they have so many expert persons, skillful persons with them, and they exchange knowledge, research the problems, research which is going on in their own country. So they discusses with each other, and they find the solution for others problem also. They exchanges their ideas, knowledge, and skills, research. They conduct the research on the policy issues confronting central banks and financial supervisory authorities. So, central banks have their own policies. Financial supervisory authorities like Federal Reserve, Ministry of Finance, they have their own policies and they have their own plans. So, they conduct the research on such issues. BIS acts as a prime counterparty for central banks in their financial transaction also. If some central banks wants to do transaction with each other, then BIS acts as a prime counterparty for these central banks. BIS serves as an agent or trustee in connection with international financial operation also. So it is a trustee. It works as a trustee for the international financial operations between these central banks and um, financial organizations. Uh, One notes I have mentioned here that monetary and financial stability is precondition for sustained economic growth. Means monetary and financial stability in any country means there should not be inflation, deflation, then there should not be any mess or any problems in the banking system, monetary system, in the capital market, money market. So monetary and financial stability in any country is the free condition, is the first conditions for the development and growth process. So maintaining the financial and monetary stability in the member countries is the prime motto of this BIS, and it works on such a policy and plans to maintain the financial and monetary stability in the world. BIS works for free of charge for public. It has its own analysis for monetary and fiscal issues, financial issues. So whatever the problem faces any country or any central bank to maintain monetary financial stability, or if any country have monetary and financial issues, then BIS work for such country. International banking and financial statistics. International bank BIS provides the international banking and financial statistics and data and all other information for researcher also. If data is available, data is authentic, statistics is authentic, then research can be done and expert people will find the data from this BIS, and they conduct the research, and they can solve the problem on the basis of this research, and the research is based on the data provided by BIS. It underpin policy making, academic research, and public debate also. It promotes the public debate on different issues, problems. It conducts the research. It makes the policy on different type of problems. What are the activities of BIS? Just we are going to take the overview here. It promotes global monetary and financial stability through following activities. It international cooperation among monetary authority and financial supervisory officials, means the BIS bring together central banks, finance ministries, other international organizations, and arranges meetings, programs for them, so that they can discuss their problems, their plans, their research, their analysis, their policies with each other. Basel process, I have already discussed that hosting and supporting international committees and standard setting boards. Basel is the standard which are created by BIS, and these are the mandatory for their member countries. If we follow these Basel norms, then there is uh, very less possibility that bank will fail. So these are the standard rules created by this Basel committee, and this Basel process also sets the some standard bodies. Set the some standards in the world. BIS research and statistics. BIS Bank for International Settlements research, statistics, data help to meet and need of monetary and supervisory authorities for data and policy insights. It helps, I have already told you that it helps to researcher to do research, to solve some problems, to create some strategies, plans on the financial matter, and in case of monetary and supervisory authorities problem. So BIS helps meet and need of monetary and supervisory authority for data and policy insight. Next is Financial Stability Institute. Bank for International Settlement helps to foster a sound understanding of supervisory standards and practices globally and to assist in their implementation. Uh, BIS helps to foster sound and understanding supervisory standards and some standard practices globally, and also assist in the implementation of these standards. So these standards, rules, and some standard practices helps to sustain the banks all over the world. If banks follow these norms or standards, then there is very less possibility to banks go for bankruptcy. uh, so in nutshell, we can say that it works, BIS works for financial stability and monetary stability in the world. The Financial Stability Institute of BIS helps to promote cross-sectoral and cross-border supervisory cooperation, means among different countries, among different sectors, by facilitating policy discussion and the sharing of supervisory practices experience. For example, if Reserve Bank of India has some kind of experience with India, then Reserve Bank of India can share it with the Federal Reserve Bank of England, like that. And the Federal Reserve also can share their experiences of their country with the Reserve Bank of India. Cooperation with regional central bank grouping in the form of participation in joint meetings and workshops. So cooperation and regional central bank grouping is there. Governance of BIS works like this. The governance of the bank is exercised at three levels. The board of director is the first body, then general meetings of member central banks, and BIS general management. These are the three important bodies which controls the governance of BIS. Each of these level participate in the governance and management decision related to BIS activities on the international cooperation, policy analysis, banking operations, and resource management also. So this is the governance and the management of the Bank for International Settlement. They have the BIS has four main departments, two of which includes two principal activities: economic analysis and banking. One which supports central bank collaboration on new technology, and one which provide general internal support. So first department is very important: monetary and economic department. Second is banking department, and BIS innovation hub, that is, it is related to technology, new technology. And fourth is general secretariat, general management. Technology is very important because some hackings and some malpractices through internet are happening all over the world. So Swift, that is Swift, which is the platform created for financial message transferring in the world. Like that, the new technology should be strong for safety of all financial institute and banking institutes all over the world, and this department, BIS innovation hubs, works for that. Central bank hub, central bank hub created by this BIS. It has a forum for the discussion, policy analysis, information sharing among the central banks. So this is very important. Central bank hub created means all the 60 member central banks are the a member of this central bank hub of this BIS, and they discuss. This forum is created for discussion, policy analysis, information sharing among the central banks. Central bank research hub is also there. It facilitate access to research publication, means whatever the research done by the member banks, economists, by the experts, so they publishes the research here from the community of central bank and international financial institutions. So important research work and important uh, solutions for the problems are published here as a research. Central bank's website, you can refer and read more if you want. www.bis.org, central bank HTM. Central bank governance forum is there. It acts as a focal point. It is act as a important central forum for the discussion of the and clearing house for information on central bank governance and organizational matter all over the world. Who are the member of this BIS? BIS members, I have given the whole list here. The bank's capital is held by central banks only. 63 central banks and monetary authorities are currently members of. Sorry, I have told you in the previous slide 60 members only, but now 3 members increased. It is updated information. 63 central banks and monetary authorities are currently members of the Bank for International Settlement and have right of voting and representation at general meeting. So who are the members? You can have a view and glance over these members. Bank of Algeria, Central Bank of Argentina, Reserve Bank of Australia, Central Bank of Republic and Austria, National Bank of Belgium, Central Bank of Bosnia and Herzegovina, then Central Bank of Brazil, Bank of Canada, Central Bank of Chile, People's Bank of China, Central Bank of Colombia, Croatian National Bank, Czech National Bank, Denmark National Bank, Bank of Estonia, European Central Bank, Bank of Finland, Bank of France, Dutch Bank, Bundesbank Germany, Bank of Greece, Hong Kong Monetary Authority, Magyar Nemzeti Bank, it is in Hungary, Central Bank of Iceland, then Reserve Bank of India is there, Bank of Indonesia, Central Bank of Ireland, Bank of Israel, Bank of Italy, Bank of Japan, Bank of Korea, then Central Bank of Kuwait, Bank of Latvia, Bank of Lithuania, Central Bank of Luxembourg, Central Bank of Malaysia, Bank of Mexico, Netherlands Bank, Reserve Bank of New Zealand, Central Bank of Norway, National Bank of the Republic of North Macedonia, Central Reserve Bank of Peru. So the list goes on, and you can find this list on bank's website also. Bank of Slovenia is there, Bank of England is there, Bank of Thailand is there, National Bank is there. So these are the different committees Bank for International Settlement have. Standing committees are the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision. This is very important committee. I have told about this, that Basel Committee have created Basel norms for all over the world. The Committee on the Global Financial System is there. The Committee on Payment and Settlement is there. Market Committee, Central Bank Governance Forum, and Irving Fisher Committee on Central Bank Statistics is also there. Irving Fisher was the economist and very reputed statisticians all over the world. You have studied the Irving Fisher's theory, quantity theory of money in business economics. It is very important, very important theory given by this Irving Fisher. So Irving Fisher's Committee on Central Bank Statistics also there. You can find the more information, and you can visit the www.bis.org. So friends, that is that much from my side in this lecture. Thanks for watching. If you have any problem questions, then you can write, and you can message, you can call to me. Write your name in the comment box, and thanks for watching. See you in the next lecture. Bye bye.